Hello everybody, and today I'm gonna read you the book Diary of a Wimpy Kid, 16, Big Shot. September, Monday. I've heard that athletes are born with special genes that make them good at sports. Well, whatever those genes are, I guess I was born without them. Mom's always saying that everyone who's part of the team has an important role to play. But when it comes to sports, I think my job is to make everyone else look good. At this point of my life, I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna grow up to be a professional athlete. So I'm officially announcing my retirement. And the crazy thing is, I used to actually like sports. But that was back in preschool, when sports were so fun. The first sport I ever played was soccer. I didn't know the rules, but neither did any of the other kids. So most of the time it was just pure chaos in the field. Wherever the ball went, we all chased after it. Every once in a while, the ball will pop out of the pack and go into someone's goal. Then everyone would celebrate. Nobody kept score, so you never knew who was winning or losing, and the parents didn't care because they were too busy doing their own thing. In fact, the refs didn't even blow your whistles when the ball went out of bounds. So half the time, we'd be playing on the wrong field and we didn't know it. After the game, we always get slushies and junk food at the snack shack. We couldn't even wait for the game to be over to treat ourselves. Snack shack. But when we got to kindergarten, everything changed. The refs started using their whistles, and they didn't let us do the kinds of things we got away with the year before. That season, the refs blew their whistles almost every time I touched the ball. So when I was in the game, I'd stand in the corner of the field and just pray that the ball didn't roll to me. It's not I was getting a lot of playing time in kindergarten anyway. The coach only put in the kids who were good. The rest of us sat at the bench. Mom told me the reason the coach wasn't playing me because it was a secret weapon and he was saving me for a big moment. But I didn't understand that Mom was just trying to make me feel better about myself. So whenever the coach did put me in the game, I'd go out thinking I was hot stuff. Even the snack shack wasn't fun that year. Some parents complained that they were selling too much junk food and sugary sweets, so they should replace them with healthy options. But the slushy sales from the snack shack paid for the food upkeep. So that year, Parks Department could only afford to mow the grass once every 3 weeks, which really slowed the games down. After a bunch of kids got ticks from playing soccer in the long grass, they decided to end the season early, which is totally fine with me. I feel bad because I've never been good at sports. I think Dad was hoping I'd be a star athlete. When he'd go to the library, he'd always come home with a stack of sports books. I'm sure there are kids who are into these types of books, but that was never me. If you go to the library, you find all sorts of books about kids who do amazing things and then lead their teams to a victory. But I never had any experiences like that. And I'll bet there are lots of kids that are just like me. So one of these days, somebody should write a book for the rest of us. It's not I've got anything against sports. I like them just fine as long as I'm not the one playing. In fact, this summer I watched the Olympics on the TV pretty much non-stop. It was Mom's idea for us to watch games as a family. She said that these days, everyone's in their own little bubbles, and sports was one of the only things that can still bring people together. But I think a little togetherness goes a long way. Mom says she loves the Olympics because they show what human beings are capable of their best. But I like watching for the bloopers. Snap! Wow! I'm just glad that somebody else is out there, not me. Because I'm sure I'd be nervous. I knew there were millions of people watching me from home. And if you mess up in the Olympics, you're supposed to act grateful for it. But if you just spent 4 hours on my live training and then made some dumb mistake, I'm pretty sure I'll have trouble smiling for the cameras. That's why I do one of those sports when you're part of a team. Because then, when you screw up, it's harder for people to tell. Mind if I squeeze in with you fellas? In fact, if I was in the Olympics, I'd be in one of those events where a horse is involved. Because if something goes wrong, at least you've got someone to blame. Things were going great until Thunderbolts here screwed up. But you know, when you think about it, that's probably the reason why horses sometimes act out. Kapow! Kapow! Even though we watched a lot of Olympics coverage, we still don't understand the way everything works. For one thing, I don't see why they only hand out medals for the athletes who take the top 3 spots in the competition. It seems to me like they could keep going with medals so everyone goes home with a prize. 15th place, aluminum medal, Greg Heffley. At least gold and silver are worth something. But if you want a bronze medal, you'd be lucky to get a few bucks for it. We buy jewelry, rare coins, watches. Absolutely no refunds. I figure the moment your medal is the most valuable is right after you win. So if you got one, I try to take advantage of the TV audience and find a buyer. This dazzling medal can be yours to own. Serious offers only. Greg Heffley, first-time medalist. During the medal ceremony, you have the top 3 athletes stand on the podium. Then they play the gold medalists' national anthem and make the 2 other athletes stand here and listen. If I took silver or bronze, I pop in some earbuds so I could jam to my own tunes. Snap, snap. One of Mom's favorite things about the Olympics is when they tell the life stories of the athletes who are competing. Some of the stories are really inspiring because a lot of these athletes had to overcome tough challenges to get where they are. If I ever made it to the Olympics, my story wouldn't be that inspirational. Inspirational. Mom keeps telling me that one day I'd be an Olympian, so I should start my Olympic journey now. And to be honest, I wouldn't mind if Mom and Dad shipped Manny off to one of those sports academies, because there will be one less person I have to share a bathroom with. This is called my closet. Maybe there's some sport that you can start when you're a little older, because it's pretty cool to represent your country as an Olympian, no matter what sport you compete in. There's still hope for a person like me, because it will be pretty cool if you represent. And if I won the gold medal, you can bet I never take it off. When you win a gold medal, you're set for life. And even when your Olympic career is over, you can still make a fortune during appearances and signing and stuff. But the real money is in advertising products on TV. I say yes to everything as long as the money was good. The best thing about being an athlete is that you can retire young, and you would be great. And it will be great for a person like me, because there are lots of places I like to visit and things I like to see. I'm not a give on sports yet, but who knows? Maybe me is a person who everyone looks up to. First attempt, high dive. It turns out I'm gonna have a chance to prove myself sooner, I thought. But when we get back to school after summer vacation, there are posters in the hallways announcing field day. Calling all athletes! Field day is almost here! Next Wednesday, 1:30 p.m. They have field day in the middle school every 4 years. And the last time they held it was when my brother Roderick was my age. I remember him getting excited about the competition because the winning home group got free ice cream at lunch. Well, this year, they've raised the stakes. If your homeroom wins a competition, your class gets a day off from school. So that has everyone motivated to win. The most person who wants the day off is Mrs. Bosch, my homeroom teacher. She says she's pregnant and always telling us how hard it is to be on her feet all day. Well, I could use a day off from school too, but they don't let Mrs. Bosch or the rest of my team down. So I'm actually taking this competition pretty seriously. The thing is, I'm not in the best shape right now. So unless I do something about it, I won't be able to help us on the big day. So I told Daddy I wanted to get in shape. And he told me I could start going to the gym with him. Dad's been going to the same gym for years. And whatever he's doing doesn't really look like it's working. The gym was packed, but I noticed there weren't any people my age there. Dad told me that technically kids weren't allowed in the gym. But if I didn't call attention to myself, I could be okay. When Dad showed me his exercise routine, I could understand why he wasn't getting any results. Dad did a few sit-ups and jumping jacks. He said he was going to go and relax in the sauna for a while. and that meant I was free to exercise on my own. So I had to try to figure things out for myself, but I was still not 100% sure I was using the equipment the right way. I want to do is try out something with some of the things with screens on them, like the treadmills and the elliptical machines. But people were hogging the equipment and staying on longer than they were supposed to. 45-minute limit per user. Hint, wheeze. I found the remote and changed the channel to something a little bit more interesting. Vroom, vroom, vroom. I guess everyone doesn't have the same taste in entertainment as me. Because some lady got up the treadmill to change the channel. But as soon as she stepped up the machine, I jumped at my chance. There was a big screen in front of the treadmill. And you could choose between all these famous places to take your walk. I spent a few minutes trying to decide where I wanted to go. After I made my choice, the treadmill started moving. I felt like I was actually walking along the Great Wall of China. But I guess the wall is steep, and I was having trouble keeping up. So after a while, I put my feet on either side of the conveyor belt, and I took the sights in an easy way. That's when I heard some weird noises coming from the other room, so I went there to investigate. It turns out there was a whole different part of the gym, and it looked like this was where all the serious people hung out. So I decided to start with a few bicep curls and go from there. But still I didn't want to overdo it, because at lunch yesterday, Albert Sandy told us about this bodybuilder who blew out a bicep, and I sure didn't want that happening to me. It turns out I didn't need to stress out about it, because I couldn't even get any of the dumbbells off the rack. I thought I made better luck with the bench press, but I couldn't budge the barbell either, and I have to admit I was getting a little frustrated. But by now people were staring at me, so I didn't know what I was doing. So I started taking the weights off the barbell, so I made it a little lighter. But it turns out you're not supposed to take the weights off one side of the barbell at once, because when you do, everything slides off on the other side. And apparently, people in the weight room don't like loud noises. So I guess that's the reason why they don't let kids in the gym. But it doesn't seem right when they kick Dad out too, because he has really been a loyal member. Thursday, Mom said when it comes to getting in shape, exercise is only half the picture. She says nutrition is just as important, and she'd be happy to teach me a few things about eating right if I really wanted to learn. I didn't feel getting a lecture about food, but I jumped at the chance to go with her at the grocery store, because I wanted to help pick out the food we'd have in the pantry. Whenever Manny goes to the store with Mom, he picks out the things he wants, and that's why we have all this random stuff in our cabinets. Quail eggs. family side, perfect shade, at home hair coloring kit, lard, silver fox, adult diapers, hand chews, wink. No offense to mom or anything, but she's terrible at picking out her snacks. She always buys healthy stuff that tastes awful, and she won't buy any new snacks until we've eaten all the old ones. So lately, I have been having my best friend rally over for tasting parties to help me clear space under cabinets. When we got to the grocery store today, I split off from mom. Then I loaded up the cart with a bunch of my favorites. Then I grabbed a few healthy items just to make mom happy. She held up a bottle of fruit juice, which I thought was a pretty solid choice on my part. But mom said it was full of sugar, and there wasn't any nutritional value to it. I told mom she was wrong because there was a picture of tons of different fruits right there on the bottle. But then mom showed me the label, and I couldn't believe that they can even get away with that. Contains no actual fruit juice. Mom said if you really want to know what's in the food you can buy, you have to read the list of ingredients. She said that told me the cans of marinara pasta I had in the car were full of all sorts of chemicals. I seen Chef Marinara on television, and that shows him making his pasta by hand in old Italy. Mom showed me the small print on the back of the can, which said the food was made in the factory Detroit. She said that Chef Marinara probably wasn't even a real person, and they just hired an actor for all those TV ads. I started to wonder if Rotten Rudy was a real person, because all of those Rotten Rudy TV ads that scare me than drinking a gallon of milk every day. Don't be like Rotten Rudy. I should not drink milk. Drink milk. Mom said the food companies are really clever at slipping their advertising into places you wouldn't expect. Which made me think about the posters up on our hallways at school. Read and refresh. Glug, glug, glug. Books was Berry Bonanza. Food pyramid. Berry Bonanza. Fish, chicken, fruits and vegetables. Pizza, French fries, donuts, cupcakes. She explained that sometimes packaged food companies use cartoon characters to get young kids to want their products. And that's why she thinks right. Because one day, we left the house today, Manny was watching an episode of The Murples where Munchy Murple was chewing down on a bottle of rock candy crunch cereal. Crunch, crunch, munch, munch. Mom told me that she's buys food for the family. She checks the labels and doesn't buy anything with ingredients she can't pronounce. She said that the best thing is to buy food with only one ingredient, like fruits and vegetables. Well, I don't know if just my generation, but it is a little hard for a kid like me to eat something that isn't wrapped with a cellophane or doesn't come in a cardboard box. In fact, if chocolate bars grew in the ground, I bet I wouldn't touch them. But if the people who sell fruits and vegetables want to get kids eating that stuff, they need to set up their advertising game. Berry beet, Ashton asparagus, Kaitlin the carrot, Brett broccoli. Field day is tomorrow, and I've started to heat up at school. Mrs. Bosch has been making everyone in her room get to class half hour early to have extra time to put together our strategy. And she's been getting paranoid about what the other classrooms are doing to prepare. So today, she had Ledavian Mills up to the ceiling so he could spy on Mr. Drew's room next door. But it turns out that the ceiling tiles aren't strong enough to hold a person's weight. War crash. And so I've read to page 47 already. So the next time I am gonna read to page 94. So bye.